What's
Yo,
up,
what's
Mo?
good, bro?
Um, First of all, thank you for pulling up and doing the show. I think it's gonna be cool. You definitely been doing your thing, as of recently, and you kind of popped on my radar, uh, maybe a month or two ago. So, I think it's definitely cool we got you on here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that for sure. So I
Yeah, no,
appreciate you
absolutely.
reaching out too on God.
All right, so let's start it off, man. Like, I know you still pretty young now, but like, who did you grow up listening to? Like before you even started making music, like, who are you listening to?
I was listening to like really more like 50 Cent, 3 6 Mafia type shit, Lil Wayne, Juice
Hmm.
World, Chief Keef, shit like that.
And then, so how did that lead to you wanting to make music for yourself?
It really gave me like a new outlook on music. Like it really showed me music don't really got no
Hmm.
rules for real.
So then, okay, so
Yeah, it really just showed me music don't got no rules. It showed me I could like just play around with my voice
so
and try
okay,
new shit
so
out.
that makes sense. So you hear that, so you see, all right, in order to rap, I don't have to do any specific thing. I can kind of do what I want to do. Um, so how do you start making music? Like,
Nah,
what's the first
facts.
step? No, just like period.
Like
Like
my
you making
recording
music at all.
process. Oh, like what made me like all right, so like I was young for real and I really wanted to make music, but I knew like my family was too poor to buy studio time for me for real. So I'm just sitting there thinking like I know they don't use no like music computers or nothing. Like I know they use ordinary computers. So I just had my mom buy me a little desktop mic, a little $40 blue snowball, and I just used the computer I already had and started searching up how to mix and
Oh,
shit, how to
so not
engineer.
only were you like making them in your crib, like you were also engineering your own music and everything.
Yeah, I engineer all my own music. I used to make some of my covers, made some of my
Wow.
beats. I still
So,
do it
okay, so what's
sometimes.
the first song you put out?
It was called Shoot. I was 13 years old. It was just like me playing around with the mic for real, just trying to get a feel of like what I wanted to do,
How do you
how I
feel
wanted my
about the
music
song
to
now?
sound for real.
Mhm.
It'd be good. It feel good to
Right,
look back on
right.
it, but I don't listen
So,
to it no more.
okay, so you put that first song out when you're 13, right? Um, what's the reception, and then kind of how do you
Yeah.
go from there? Like, kind of how do you go from 13 to putting out more music?
So basically, like I was already like doing my own little like I stayed consistent on the little YouTube shit, and the YouTube algorithm was fire back then. Like so people used to actually tap into my music and I used to get plays. So I kept making more music. And eventually people at my middle school started to find out about my music. I never used to try to tell them, but they figured out on their own and basically like they started liking my shit, complimenting me all the time. So I decided to just keep going with it for real. But that's really all I ever wanted to do. Like I ain't ever wanted to do nothing
Wow.
else in life,
So,
to be honest.
oh, so even early on, you were like, you knew this was something that you wanted to do, even before like, people were even telling you, oh, this is something you should do. You should keep going. You already believe that in yourself.
Yeah, that's like because I was about like probably 8 or 9. My dad had left, so like I'm close with my mom, but like I don't really talk to her, vent to her. So like I used music. I used to turn on type beats on the TV and like freestyle and shit just to like vent, rant. I don't usually rant to my mom and then so like I use
Hmm.
music as a coping mechanism.
So you put, pretty much since 2019 on, you put out like a lot of projects, and you kind of, you were churning stuff out. And at this point, like I'm sure people like knew you online, but you
Yeah,
weren't as big as you are now, right? So back then, when you're putting all these
yeah,
projects out,
facts.
and it's like you're in the double digits at that point, right? What was motivating you to keep putting music out? Like kind
Yeah,
of what was making you go, all right, I got to stick to this?
uh, my daughter for real. I used to keep making music, and I made this song called Moon Part Two, and she learned the lyrics to it. And when she started singing that song, she was only 2 years old. I just wanted to keep making, like, it just kept driving. I always had the motivation, but she's what made me really not stop for real. I made another song called Dream. She learned the lyrics to that. And now my daughter 3, she learned the lyrics to 556, all that shit. So like seeing her like that, seeing her play my music, she be wanting to see my pictures when I get back from photo shoots, see my music when I get done shooting video. Like that's what really be keeping me going for real.
So yeah, I definitely saw about you, you know, you having a daughter and stuff like that. How does you being a dad like kind of affect your career and kind of like how you like look at it? Because I know you said like she motivated you early on, but like now at this point where you're starting to like really start to feel success and stuff like that, like kind of how did that shape how you think about it?
I wanna like my family, my big brothers didn't really do nothing in life. So like when she look at me, I want her to know like this shit easy to do for real. Like
Mm-hmm.
whatever she wants to do, to be honest. Like once I got to this point, shit just started seeming smoother. I ended up recently getting custody of her, like full custody. So like I just been chilling,
Right.
raising and shit like that. Shit been molding me into a better man, just so I can mold her
No,
into
that's
like a
actually really
person when she
cool. No,
grow up
I'm
type
definitely
shit.
happy to hear that, man. So
And I
you putting all
appreciate
this
that.
work, you putting all these projects out, you making all these songs, then you put out Kamir and everything is completely
Yeah.
different now. Like you put out Kamir, right? You put it out
Yeah,
and
that's it
it
happened
goes,
quick.
right? So kind of what's the story behind you making the song
Yeah.
and kind of how it blew up? Like kind of how, in your words, how do you think it like took off?
Um so like the song came about, it was like a little incident, and me and my homies, we had to take care of something, and basically like the song about the situation. And what really made it viral though, I feel like, was like my voice was gone that night, and everybody thought like I had, but like really the I just with no voice. I feel like me just rapping with the lost voice. That's what made it viral for real. Like,
Oh, you're breaking up.
oh, what's the last thing? Oh,
You were talking about how you lost your voice, and then you decided to make. From pretty much what I'm taking from it was you were losing your voice, and you decided to make it anyway.
yeah, basically I lost my voice, and I wanted to make the song like real fast for the culture. So like I ended up making that song, and my voice was gone. And I ended up leaving like some voice cracks in there on purpose, shit like that. I feel like that's what
Mm-hmm.
really blew it up, made it take
So,
off.
okay, so the song blows up, right? So, kind of, what did you notice after that? Like, did you start? Is that when you started to
Yeah.
get like label attention and stuff like that, or did it start before then?
Nah, I was already getting noticed by labels before then. Probably when I hit like 10K followers, I started getting noticed by labels. So I already settled down and like sorted all that out. So like, yeah, I was already with the
Okay,
label before
so
all that.
so when did you sign to Simple Stupid and Geffen? Like, when did that happen?
That was I signed September of last year. They've been getting me right ever since. I can't really complain. I feel like when rappers complain about their deals, they just go broke fast. Nah,
No,
you know,
I feel you though. I think right. I think it just
it's
comes
true
down
though.
to like fit. Like you are obviously at the right place. Like you're the right place for you. They believe in you for sure. They
Yeah,
support you. They push you, stuff like that. And I think it all works out. And on top of that too, like you do the work. You putting the songs out. You do what you need to do. So it works for everybody, really.
Nah, facts.
When I was talking about before, when I
Facts.
said I kind of had become like aware of you, not too long ago. And the first video of yours I saw was
Yeah.
556 Green Tip. Like somebody posted it on Twitter. And of course,
Yeah.
me being a double XL, stuff like that, people post videos and stuff all the time. So I was like, all right, let me, give it a click, see what it's like. And I turn it on, and it's like
Yeah.
so different from like everything else that's out there. And like it like kind of like it's weird, it kind of like jumped off the
Yeah.
page. So from there I was like, I'm gonna keep listening to what else he got out there. And like all of that was like really unique too. With with Green Tip, I mean, and like that's
Yeah.
gotten like even bigger than Premier. Like with Green Tip, what do you think? What was so special about that song, like to you, just like on a personal level, where it did, what it did?
I mean, what it did was special to me. Like, it brought more of my fans closer. Like, it started making, like, after Kamir and then one, like, 556 kind of topped it off. Like, a lot of people heard my name but never wanted to give my music a chance for real. But I feel like with those going viral, it makes people, like,
What?
actually want to check me out. But as far as, like, the song, like, having a special feeling to me, I make music like that all the time for real. That was just me rapping. Like, it takes me like 15 minutes to make those type of songs for real. I just get that from my city for real. Like, that's how we locally kind of rap,
When you said
to
you
be
felt like
honest.
before that people didn't want to, like they heard your name but they didn't want to give your music a chance, why did you feel that way? Like why do you think they didn't want to give you a chance?
Because I'm doing 10 times the numbers
Mm-hmm.
in like 5 months. So I feel like just off of statistics, like my quality hasn't changed. I've been on the same mic for like, or I've been on Newman mics for, you know, almost a year now. So the quality's been there, the flows have been there. I make rock music, R&B music, trap music, melodic music, plug and
Right.
B, shit like that. So I feel like, once the numbers start rising, it's like, okay, now they finally seeing like Timberland.
So kind of like you were talking.
My
So good.
battery percentage popped up, but yeah, like after I had after 556 popped, it feel like everybody just actually sees like
Right.
all the type of music I can
So
make.
after Green Tip takes off, right? You Virtuous comes out not too long after that.
Yeah.
And it kind of came out at the right time because just like you said, it got kind of put your fans in a different place and kind of brought you more, and also the fans you already had kind of started to feel differently about you too. So then the project comes out.
Facts.
Kind of, what do you think Virtuous did for you? Kind of like in like concerning your career, like how do you feel like Virtuous kind of moved you up and kind of moved you forward?
Um, I don't feel like Virtuous really played a role, but it was a important drop for my OG fans that
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't hold from them. And Virtuous kind of contained all my songs from 2021, late 2021,
Mm-hmm.
that like everybody kept asking for. So that's like why the songs range so different, like in sound when you go through it. So like that was really just like for my OG supporters, because if I wouldn't have dropped the
Mm-hmm.
project, the songs would have been
You
forgotten
just put
about
out
for
the
real.
video for "Go Through Trees," which is definitely one of like the craziest songs on there. Kind of, did you know? Did you
Yeah.
kind of always know this is a song we're gonna push? Like, this is something that is like people are gonna really want, or like you kind of were like feeling it out?
Mm, I mean, as far as me and Summers, I want to shoot our song Perky's for real, or like a few other songs. But I feel like Go Through Trees really shows where like how far me and Summers came together, because like me and him got a lot of songs from last year, maybe a year and
Mm-hmm.
a half ago. It's probably already been that long. And up to now, it just shows our progression type shit. It just shows like how good of a duo we can be, how we accommodate each
You
other
were talking
flows, shit
about
like that.
how y'all rap in Fort Worth and kind of greater Dallas area and stuff like that. Um, there, I don't know if a lot of
Yeah.
people kind of are aware of this, but like Dallas has like a lot of acts and a lot of talent and a lot of different sounds and stuff like that too. Um, and that's been the case like
Oh
for
yeah.
a while now. I actually, um, kind of how do you think you found a way to like differentiate yourself to the point where like you're one of the acts that people recognize from the area outside of the area?
I don't do this rap. Like a lot of in Fort Worth and Dallas, like, well, really just Fort Worth. In Fort Worth, where I'm from, is like people do a lot of diss rapping, and I seen a lot of kids my age. I seen kids 17 years old, 16 years old die behind the rap beef. So it's like I just stopped doing, like, I never really even did rap like beef music, none of that type of local shit. Never dissed nobody, dead homies, nothing like that. I just made songs for everybody feeling. I fuck with everybody. I don't got no beef with nobody. I'm just cooling on some
Mm-hmm.
like Lil Uzi Vert type shit for real. That's what I. That's the route I wanted to go. I ain't want to be like no big and bad dude, like nothing like that in the music scene. I just want to chill, be left alone. I feel like when you put on that persona, not only is like a lot of problems that come with that shit, but
Right.
like people want to test you. They expect you to always
Right.
be,
No, that's real.
aggressive.
Um, when did you
I'm
feel
not,
confident in like your
bro.
ability? Like when it comes to like just making songs or just rapping. Like at what point were you like, yo, I'm good at this and the stuff I'm putting out is consistently good?
It had to have been like, it's like as I started gaining more and more fans, every day I would get that new text where it's like, yo, your music's hard, keep going. Like I just found your shit. And now it's like every day it's hundreds of those. So it's like the more that number grew, as far as people DMing me and showing me love. Because me, I'm not really the type of person like when I find new music. I mean, even though I am an artist, but I feel like even if I wasn't an artist, I really wouldn't just DM the person and get real personal or supportive. I really just
Mm-hmm.
support their music for real if I liked it. So for people to go out their way and text me and shit and let me know that my shit is changing their life or helping them get through depression, that's what my music really be for, is for people to get through depression, heartbreak, shit like that, anxiety, all that shit. So that's what really made me feel like, yeah, I'm really just meant this shit like meant to be. And when I sold like my first few features for real, that's when I know like I was
Mm-hmm.
good enough for people to even
You
want to
just
buy
talked
my
about
shit.
kind of how your music affects your fans and stuff like that. For you, what are in your opinion, like what are your can't miss songs? Like if somebody was getting familiar with you, what are the songs you're like, they have to hear me, you have to hear these?
I feel like everything produced by Boost, everything produced by Royal, really just everything for real. Like I make
Mm-hmm.
R&B, trap, plug and B, rock. I feel like if people just go through my whole discography and really give it all a chance, like they'll really find something for them.
What's
For
the
real.
with everything going on with you so far, kind of what's the biggest moment in your career that you kind of experienced so far at this point?
Uh, really just going from listening to everybody I know to knowing them and working with them, making a song with Trippy Rock,
PNB Rock,
Trippy
yeah.
Red. I said Trippy Rock and PNB Rock. Um, PNB Rock and Trippy Red on, bro. That's like one of my biggest accomplishments for real. You know, I grew up like when I was 15, 16, I was listening to Summers. And like when he found my music, like we just got to kicking it over time and shit like that. So really like my biggest accomplishments be like meeting the people that I used to listen to and getting to know them and being cool with them, kicking it with them. These being some of the only people I talk to and hang
What's
out with on a daily
something
basis.
that like your fans would be surprised to know about you? It could be like something you like doing, something you're interested in, it could be anything.
Uh, Shit. I was finna say some arrogant shit. I was finna say I love to spend money for real, but that really be like my only hobby. And gaming, I play the game a lot for real. I feel like people wouldn't just think I play that. I play VR. I feel like
Or
people
what are you
wouldn't
playing
think
on
that.
there?
I be playing Onward and
Mm-hmm.
Pavlov, so
Okay.
like some
No,
Call of
that's
Duty
cool.
type shit.
What's kind of your best story about like a fan, like something they said to you, or like a message they sent you that's like really stuck with you?
Uh, Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
like I got a serious one and a funny one. So like the serious one is probably my cover for my tape Demons, where it was a tweet I had found, and this fan was giving it. I mean, supporter was giving his like real deep insight about me and like my character, and I really felt like that was a good analogy of like what he thinks of me. So I made that my album cover. I mean, mixtape cover. But like the funny one is probably when I just performed my show and a nigga hand me a honey bun inside of a wrapper to sign. That was probably like the most funniest shit.
Well,
I
did he
never
tell?
forget
Did
that
he
shit.
explain why he handed you a honey bun, or he just gave you a honey
Nah, he just said sign. He just said sign the honey bun. I said, hey, fuck
All
it.
right, shout out to that fan, man, for sure. Okay, so just to wrap it up, man, what do you have coming next? Like, what should people be expecting from you?
I'm gonna get out these few last no auto songs, and then I'm going back to my emotional music, going back to the rock and R&B shit, more experimental shit. So all my fans that really like me getting like more melodic or into my emotions type shit, they should
Okay,
just know that that shit coming soon. Gonna drop a few
okay,
more no
no, for
autos,
sure.
and then I'm back on it.
Okay, so is there anything you want to talk about that I like didn't bring up in here, or just something you want to shout out? Could be whatever you want.
Shit, really just tell everybody to chase their dreams for real. I went from listening to the whole double R, listening to the whole, uh, you know, bird supremacy. Like now I'm fucking with gang. I am double R. Like Trippy Red, PNB Rock. Like you can listen. Like you can have dreams and actually reach those dreams. Like that shit is not impossible. Like I'm just a random kid from a
Right.
small town in
No,
Texas.
that's hard, man, for sure. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the time. All right, my man.
And I appreciate that.